Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture on Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose. So this lecture will contain all these topics. What is Kinesis Data Firehose? Key concepts, data flow for S3, data flow for Redshift, data flow for OpenSearch, data flow for Splunk, and the sources, destinations, transform source data in Amazon Data Firehose. So what is Kinesis Data Firehose? Amazon Data Firehose is a fully managed service for delivering real-time streaming data to destinations such as Amazon Simple Storage Service S3, Redshift, Amazon OpenSearch Service, Amazon OpenSearch Serverless, Splunk, Apache Iceberg Tables, and any custom HTTP endpoint or HTTP endpoints owned by supported third-party service providers, including Datadog, Dynatrace, Logic Monitor, MongoDB, New Relic, CoralLogix, and Elastic. With Amazon Data Firehose, you do not need to write applications or manage any resources. You can configure your data producers to send data to Amazon Data Firehose, and it automatically delivers the data to the destination that you have specified. You can also configure Amazon Data Firehose to transform your data before delivering it. So the key concepts. First one is the Firehose stream, and this is the underlying entity of Amazon Data Firehose. You use Amazon Data Firehose by first creating a Firehose stream and then sending data to the stream. Next one is a record, which is the data of interest that your data producer sends to a Firehose stream. A record can be as large as 1000 kilobyte. And next we have data producer. Producers send records to Firehose streams. For example, a web server that sends log data to the Firehose stream is a data producer. You can also configure your Firehose stream to automatically read data from an existing Kinesis data stream and load it into destinations. Buffer size and buffer interval. So Amazon Data Firehose buffers incoming streaming data to a certain size or for a certain period of time before delivering it to destinations. Buffer size is in MBs and buffer interval is in seconds. So data flow for S3. So first we have for Amazon S3 destinations, streaming data is delivered to your S3 bucket. If data transformation is enabled, you can optionally back up the source data to another Amazon S3 bucket. So this is the backup storage, and this one you can do some transformation and finally store it to a S3 bucket. So this is the most typical use case because S3 is the typical storage service for all kind of use cases. Next we have data flow for Redshift, and for Amazon Redshift destinations, streaming data is delivered to your S3 bucket first. So it goes to the S3 bucket first here. So you can transform and you can store it in an intermediate S3 bucket. Amazon Data Firehose then issues an Amazon Redshift copy command. So from here, it will issue a copy command to load data from your S3 bucket to your Amazon Redshift cluster. If data transformation is enabled, you can optionally backup source data to another Amazon S3 bucket. So from here, you can actually just store the raw data also, but you can have some kind of transformation, and from this you can have a copy command which will process or load all the data to a Redshift cluster. Next is data flow for OpenSearch, and for OpenSearch destination, OpenSearch service OpenSearch service cluster, streaming data is delivered to your OpenSearch service cluster. It can optionally be backed up to your S3 bucket concurrently. So here we don't have intermediate S3 bucket. You can directly from Firehose delivery stream, you can do some transformation and store it in an OpenSearch cluster. Next we have data flow for Splunk, and for Splunk destinations, streaming data is delivered to Splunk and it can optionally be backed up to your S3 bucket concurrently. So same architecture. So you can back up also, and then you can do a transformation and store it to Splunk. Next we have all the sources listed here. So these are the producers, and they are AWS SDK, Lambda, CloudWatch logs, CloudWatch events, Cloud Matrix streams, AWS IoT, EventBridge, Amazon Simple Email Service, Simple Notification Service, Web Application Firewall, Amazon API Gateway Access Logs, Pinpoint, Managed Service for Kafka Broker Logs, Route 53 Resolver Query Logs, Network Firewall Alert Logs, Network Firewall Flow Logs, Amazon Elasticache Redis Slow Log, Kinesis Agent on Linux and Kinesis Tap on Windows, FluentBit, FluentD, Apache NiFi and Snowflake. And next, these are all the destinations. So it goes into a stream, and finally it goes into some destination. OpenSearch, which I talked about, OpenSearch Serverless, Redshift, S3, Iceberg Tables, CorelLogix, Datadog, Dynatrace, Elastic, HTTP Endpoint, Honeycomb, Logic Monitor, Logs.io, MongoDB Cloud, New Relic, Splunk, Splunk Observability Cloud, SumoLogic and Snowflake. Okay, transforming source data in Amazon Data Firehose. Amazon Data Firehose can invoke your Lambda function to transform incoming source data and deliver the transformed data to destinations. So in case you want to do any kind of a transformation, this feature is available. You can enable Amazon Data Firehose data transformations when you create your Firehose stream. When you enable Firehose data transformations, Firehose buffers incoming data. The buffering size hint ranges between 0.2 MB megabyte to 3 MB 3 megabyte. The default Lambda buffering size is 1 MB for all destinations except for Splunk and Snowflake. For Splunk and Snowflake, the default buffering hint is 256 KB, so it's less. So only for 2 destinations, rest all is 1 MB. The Lambda buffering interval hint ranges between 0 to 900 seconds. The default Lambda buffering interval hint is 60 seconds for all destinations except Snowflake. So all destination it is 60-second buffering interval. For Snowflake, the default buffering hint interval is 30 seconds. So it's half of the default for all other. To adjust the buffering size, you can set the processing configuration parameter of the create delivery stream or update destination API with something like processor parameter called buffer size in MBs and interval in seconds. Firehose then invokes the specified Lambda function synchronously with each buffered batch using the AWS Lambda synchronous invocation mode. The transform data is sent from Lambda to Firehose. Firehose then sends it to the destination when the specified destination buffering size or buffering interval is reached, whichever happens first. And that's all. Thanks for watching.